Top of the evening and welcome to the news here on IETV. On to our viewers on IETVTT.com, I'm Kevin Maharaj. Thank you for joining us. In the headlines, Energy Minister acknowledges missed opportunities and pledges closer ties with Guyana and Suriname. The Prime Minister marks Lent and Ramadan 2026 and highlights national unity in diversity. And one man is dead and two others have been wounded following a shooting in East Port of Spain this morning. In our top story, Trinidad and Tobago's Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Muniral has acknowledged missed opportunities to better align Trinidad and Tobago's energy agenda with those of Guyana and Suriname. Speaking during his two-day address at the Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo in Georgetown, Dr. Muniral said there was regret that in recent years deeper collaboration had not been placed. At the same time, he pitched Port of Spain as a ready and capable industrial partner for Guyana's and Suriname's petroleum and national gas development. Minister Muniral said the new administration, which took office in April 2025, has mandated a renewed approach to regional engagement with a focus on closer cooperation, that is, in energy policy and development. He revealed that the government has been directed to deepen ties with both countries and strengthen regional collaboration.
Trinidad and Tobago is called a mature province. We have been in the oil and gas business for over 100 years. We have a built-out multi-billion-dollar infrastructure on both land and sea. We are beyond oil. We are now a gas economy that produces natural gas for particularly two purposes. One, for liquefied natural gas, Atlantic Energy, flagship plant, and of course the Point Lisas and other industries too around Point Lisas where natural gas is the feeder for several chemical plants, ammonia, methanol, fertilizer, and so on. So we are, I said yesterday, and I just keep the perspective that I sense a regret, that we have not been able as a country to have deeper and more meaningful collaboration with Guyana and Suriname over the recent past, since 2017 or 18 or thereabout. And that we intended to use this week fundamentally to change that.
Prime Minister Kamla Persaud-Bissessor has issued a national message marking the sacred observance of Lent and Ramadan 2026, describing the rare convergence as a powerful reminder of Trinidad and Tobago's unity in diversity. Here's more. In her message, Prime Minister Kamla Persaud-Bissessor noted that while Lent and Ramadan are observed through different traditions, both seasons call believers towards shared values, including reflection, discipline, compassion, charity, justice, and renewed devotion to God and one another. She said that Lent represents a 40-day journey of prayer, fasting, sacrifice, and repentance for Christians, while Ramadan is a holy period of fasting, prayer, and charity that deepens faith for Muslims. Mrs. Persaud-Bissessor emphasized that true fasting is about transformation, strengthening consciousness, uplifting the vulnerable, and building stronger families and communities. She said prayers offered in the churches and mosques across Trinidad and Tobago have long guided the nation through periods of challenge and uncertainty. The Prime Minister also assured citizens that all relevant protective and national security agencies have been directed to implement measures to ensure that all worshippers can observe their faith safely, freely, and peacefully through the season. One man is dead and two others have been wounded following a shooting in East Port of Spain this morning. Police said the incident occurred around 10:45 a.m. near the Mango Rose housing complex. One man identified as Dwayne Simon was killed in the attack, while two others were injured and taken to the hospital. Officers from the Interagency Task Force, who were in the area on a school visit at the time, were first to respond. They were joined later by officers from the Besson Street Police Station and the Port of Spain Task Force. A nearby resident reported that he was disposing of garbage at a dumpster before heading to work when he heard the gunfire. He said he was struck by a bullet fragment during the incident. Police investigations are ongoing. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
from the freshness of the ocean, Rainbow has sealed in all the natural, healthy goodness in their canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel. So go ahead, enjoy some crispy sardines, stewed mackerel, or a creamy tuna salad. Because while your tummy enjoys the great taste, your heart and immunity will love the healthy omega-3s, calcium, protein, and more. Rainbow's canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel are 100% real fish, so it's tasty, healthy eating for your body, heart, and mind. Rainbow canned fish.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampoos 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
And welcome back. Prime Minister Kamla Persaud-Bissessar has confirmed that she will travel to Bastia on Monday evening to attend the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, the first in-person engagement with regional leaders since returning to office. Here's more.
The Prime Minister will participate in the high-level Caribbean Community meeting after missing last year's 49th conference in Montego Bay, where Trinidad and Tobago was represented by senior ministers and diplomats. Despite signaling a broader foreign policy focus beyond the region, Prime Minister Persaud-Bissessar has reaffirmed Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to CARICOM, insisting the country has no intention of withdrawing from the bloc. Following talks on January 30th with CARICOM Chairman Terence Drew, she said the government values regional unity while recognizing the need for reform. The visit also marks her first direct engagement with CARICOM leaders since publicly criticizing the organization's position on Venezuela late last year. Regional leaders have since sought to ease tensions, with Kamina Johnson-Smith noting that disagreements within CARICOM are manageable through continued dialogue. Discussions at the 50th meeting are expected to focus on regional security, economic integration, climate resilience, and the CARICOM single market and economy.
Ash Wednesday Mass is more than just a ritual. That reminder was shared by Father Peter Clinton during a service held on Wednesday in Tobago. At 6 a.m., worshippers gathered at the Scarborough Roman Catholic Church to receive ashes, marking the beginning of the 40-day Lenten season, a period of reflection, repentance, and spiritual renewal for Christians.
So, the priests and the ministers putting that ashes on your forehead will say, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. In other words, brothers and sisters, we're not here for long. But yet, the ashes also is a sign of hope, marking the start of a journey back to God. Lent is not just about giving up things, abstaining from this, no meat, no ice cream, no Netflix. It is about returning to the Lord with all your heart, brothers and sisters, letting Him transform us from within, and not decorations or badges of honor. They are outward signs of an inward desire to change. It is not about, I am a Catholic, and I went this morning to get my ashes, and you walking all over, and you wiping your face around the ashes because you want people to see that you went to church. So it's not decorations, brothers and sisters. The ashes remind us that our lives are fragile, but also that God's mercy is greater than our weaknesses.
A businessman who was shot during a robbery on Valentine's Day has died. 56-year-old Vijay Nanan died in hospital early on Monday morning, 2 days after he and his employee was shot during a robbery at his vending stall opposite Gulf City Mall along Gulfview Link Road in La Romaine. Police said the incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Saturday as Nanan and his Venezuelan employee were packing up at the end of the workday. Two armed men approached, announced a robbery, and opened fire after Nanan attempted to defend himself with a cutlass. He was shot in the abdomen while the employee was wounded in her left arm. The suspects escaped with the day's sales. Nanan was taken to the San Fernando General Hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery for internal injuries and pelvic fractures. He later died around 1:30 a.m. on Monday. His employee was treated and discharged. A post-mortem is expected to be conducted at the Forensic Sciences Center later this week, while detectives of the Homicide Bureau of Investigations Region 3 continue investigations. Police have identified the man found dead along the Uriah Butler Highway on Sunday night, that is, as 68-year-old Steve Smith, whose relatives say suffered from dementia and other mental health challenges. Smith's body was discovered shortly after 10:45 on February 15th along the shoulder of the southbound lane of the Carney Bridge near the pump station. Officers responded to reports of a motionless man observed with visible injuries to his face, raising suspicions that he may have been involved in a hit-and-run incident. Additional officers from the St. Joseph Police Station and crime scene investigators processed the area for evidence. The district medical officer later pronounced Smith dead and ordered the removal of the body pending a post-mortem examination. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. You're watching IETV News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
And welcome back. A beekeeper identified as Melvin Pascal of Deep Ravine, Rio Claro, was shot and killed early on Thursday morning in an incident police believed may be linked to an ongoing land dispute. Reports indicate that Pascal had been involved in a land feud since August 2025, and investigators are examining whether the long-standing disagreement contributed to the fatal shooting. Police have since launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Bangladesh got its first elected government after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. BNP chairman Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as the country's new prime minister. From 17 years in exile to pinnacle power, Rahman is carrying on the legacy of his late mother, Khaleda Zia, and her party, the BNP. Tariq Rahman has taken the oath of office and finalized his team. A total of 25 ministers took oath alongside him. The list also has representation from Bangladesh's minority Hindu community, veteran BNP leader Nitai Roy Chaudhry, who joined Rahman's new government. The BNP is returning to power after 20 years, and the enthusiasm is reflected among its lawmakers. BNP members of parliament and ministers have decided not to take government-allotted plots and cars. Early in the day, the 13th National Assembly of Bangladesh took oath. Among the members was Hasnat Abdullah, a prominent leader of the July uprising, which led to Sheikh Hasina's ouster. He took oath as a parliamentarian while wearing the same colors he wore during the protests. The oaths for the National Assembly were followed by the swearing in of the Constitutional Reform Council. As soon as the proceedings began for the second oath-taking, Independent Member of Parliament Rumin Faraha and the BNP's Ishraq Hossain staged a walkout from the Assembly. The BNP has confirmed that none of its lawmakers will take the oath for the Constitutional Reform Council. Tariq Rahman faces two major challenges as he prepares to take over as Bangladesh's new Prime Minister. Firstly, he must address the issue of an increase in violence in the country. Bangladesh has seen a rise in political violence and violence against minorities after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. Secondly, Rahman will have to stabilize the country's relations with India. Tariq Rahman has signaled a clear desire to mend ties with India, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi sent a letter to him, which was delivered by the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, who attended the oath-taking ceremony. In his letter, the Prime Minister congratulated Rahman for a resounding victory and expressed hope for better bilateral ties. India has also invited Tariq Rahman to visit. Both of Tariq Rahman's parents have served as Bangladesh's head of state. Zia-ur Rahman and Khaleda Zia collectively ruled Bangladesh for 15 years. Zia-ur Rahman, a military ruler who served as president of Bangladesh from 1977 till his assassination in 1981, a decade after Zia-ur Rahman's death. Khaleda Zia rose to power and became the country's first woman head of state in 1991. Her term was followed by 5 years of Sheikh Hasina's rule, but she staged a comeback in 2001 and served as the country's prime minister till 2006. Now their son, Tariq Rahman, has the baton of Bangladesh. West Asia is holding its breath. It is awaiting the final outcome of the US-Iran nuclear talks. President Trump is openly warning that if Iran refuses to back down on uranium enrichment, the next step could be military action or even regime change. But for now, diplomacy seems to be holding up. The latest round of nuclear talks in Geneva have concluded. They seem to have lowered some of the tension and brought some cautious optimism. Iran says Washington and Tehran have reached an understanding of basic principles. However, despite the progress, trust between the two nations remains low. The US continues to position its foes around Iran, leading Ayatollah Ali Khamenei to issue a new threat. Here now is a report. The United States is ramping up its war readiness across West Asia. Pentagon is moving air power into place, not only as a warning, but as a message that if diplomacy fails, America is ready. US fighter jets and refueling tankers based in the United Kingdom are now being pushed closer to the region. More air defense systems are arriving. US bases are being bolstered. There are already 40,000 soldiers in the region. Dozens of US military cargo planes have been flying equipment into Jordan, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. Open source data shows more than 250 American cargo flights have poured into West Asia in recent weeks. Satellite images confirm 12 US F-15 strike aircraft now sitting in Jordan, ready within range of Iran. At sea, the build-up is even more striking. The USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Group is already in the region. The USS Gerald Ford is now heading in. Each carrier brings destroyers, submarines, and the ability to launch Tomahawk cruise missiles deep into Iranian territory. President Trump has been blunt. He says Iran must stop enriching uranium. He wants limits on Iranian missiles. Trump has even suggested that regime change in Tehran may be the best outcome.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. It's been typically, Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
But reports indicate U.S. leadership has no clear answer for what comes after. U.S. intelligence believes the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps could quickly fill the void, and that may create an even more dangerous Iran.
Look, doing a deal with Iran is not easy. I said it yesterday, I'll repeat it again today. I mean, we have to understand that Iran ultimately is governed, and its decisions are governed by Shia clerics, radical Shia clerics, okay? These people make policy decisions on the basis of pure theology. That's how they make their decisions. So it's hard to do a deal with Iran. We've always said it's hard, but we're going to try. That's what the president is trying.
But Iran is not staying quiet. The supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has responded to repeated U.S. military threats against his country, saying that Iranian weapons that can sink American carriers are more dangerous than the warships.
The US president keeps saying, our military is the strongest military in the world. The world's most powerful military can sometimes receive such a slap that it can no longer stay on its feet.
The IRGC has launched new military exercises, positioned drones and issued a stark warning saying that any American attack will bring consequences. Iran fired missiles during the drill in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian warships are in action, showing its readiness to take on American armada. Arab states in the Gulf are pushing for restraint, fearing a strike could set the entire region on fire. The region is waiting to see whether Geneva brings diplomacy or the opening shots of something far bigger.
When we return, your weather update and more. Stay tuned. IETV's Valentine's Day giveaway. For a chance to win some amazing prizes, go to our Facebook page and tell us what's the most meaningful gesture of love you've ever given or received. Winners will be chosen from the most likes and shares. Participants must like and follow our IETV's Facebook page. Prizes are 2 vouchers for a couple for dinner from Rassam Restaurant, Heartland Plaza, valued at $400 each. A silver pendant and chain set from Kanai Rockberg Jewelers. An exquisite fashionable chain set from Vandana's Fashions, ground floor, Trin City Mall. And $250 towards motor vehicle insurance from Kalyani Limited Agency for Tatil.
During these challenging times, Dollar Value Supermarket is here for you, providing our customers with a clean, safe shopping environment. Fresh produce from our farms, affordable prices, and friendly customer service. It's these values that make us not just a supermarket, but part of the community, committed to serving you and your family. Dollar Value Supermarket, your pocket-friendly supermarket. Free home deliveries from our Gasparilla and Faizabad branches.
Welcome back to IETV's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
In today's weather update, Thursday, February 19th, was partly cloudy to sunny across Trinidad and Tobago with warm and humid conditions. Periods of increased cloudiness developed during the afternoon, bringing isolated to scattered showers mainly across central, eastern and southern areas, while other districts remained generally fair. Daytime temperatures reached around 32 to 33 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with a few lingering showers, especially over eastern and southern districts. Conditions should gradually improve as the night progresses, becoming mostly fair by late evening into the early morning hours. Overnight temperatures are expected to dip to around 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, Friday, will start off partly cloudy with sunny intervals. However, moisture in the atmosphere may once again trigger periods of increased cloudiness by late morning into the afternoon, bringing a chance of isolated to scattered showers, mainly over central, southern, and eastern areas. Maximum temperatures are expected to climb to near 33 degrees in Trinidad and 31 in Tobago. Looking at marine conditions, seas are expected to remain moderate with wave heights between 1.0 and 1.5 meters in open waters. A light to moderate easterly breeze will prevail, and marine interests are advised to exercise normal caution.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is investigating a report of sexual assault which occurred during Juve celebrations in Port of Spain. A 34-year-old woman of Diego Martin reported that at approximately 9:08 a.m. while along Tragut Road in the vicinity of the Ministry of Agriculture building and participating with a Juve band, she was approached from behind by a male individual. According to reports, the suspect began dancing behind the victim and subsequently engaged in non-consensual sexual contact. The victim immediately pushed the suspect away as he attempted to leave the area. Security personnel attached to the band intervened promptly, detained the suspect and handed him over to responding police officers. The victim positively identified the individual, who was taken into custody and conveyed to the St. Clair police station. Investigations are ongoing. A Point Fortin man has been charged in connection with an incident of robbery with violence which occurred at approximately 7:30 a.m. in Claxton Bay on February 14th. If the victims, a 68-year-old woman and her 71-year-old husband, were at their residence when they were alerted by sounds of movement inside their home. Upon checking, they were confronted by three men. One of the suspects, who was armed with a firearm, announced a robbery. During the incident, the 71-year-old victim was assaulted and received several blows about the body, causing injuries. The assailants proceeded to rob the victims of quantities of cash and jewelry before making good their escape in an unknown direction. As a result of the investigation, the suspect was arrested and charged with 2 counts of robbery with violence. Legal advice was sought and obtained from Legal Officer Gordon. The matter is scheduled to be heard on Wednesday, 18th February at the Ajipa South Magistrates Court.
Recapping the headlines, Energy Minister acknowledges missed opportunities and pledges closer ties with Guyana and Suriname. The Prime Minister marks Lent and Ramadan 2026 and highlights national unity in diversity. And 1 man is dead and 2 others have been wounded following a shooting in East Port of Spain this morning. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of our entire news team, I'm Kevin Maharaj. Thank you for joining us.